Come on, Teddy boy. Oh, good morning. It's a beautiful morning. Figured I'd do a garden tour in the morning this time. It's not like, it's like late morning by now. I was already out here once, but me and Teddy like to come out here a couple times a day at least. And Teddy's been eating the snap peas. He goes and takes what he wants this time of year, but so he loves getting treats, so he loves coming out with me. Anyway, figured I'd do a morning walkthrough because I do this every morning. And I'll kind of, even if it's a 5-minute walkthrough, when I first wake up with my coffee, I try to, something like this can be a lot to maintain, so I try to keep my eyes on it and take mental notes of like what I can do right then in less than 5 minutes, or what I have to come back later and do, or maybe a bigger project for the weekend. I try to keep my mind on what I can plant in succession. So we're just gonna go through kind of like I do, and I'll just kind of talk out loud as I see things, and you can kind of, I don't know, maybe it'll be helpful to know what I'm thinking if I talk out loud. So the first thing I'm seeing here is this bed. These onions, they're still a little firm right there, but I could take those probably any time. And then some of them are falling over. Like I could take that. That's due. So I'll have to come back with my harvest bucket. Like I said, I don't always bring out the harvest bucket because I'm just usually doing a morning walkthrough. These onions from this year are looking great. This garlic actually, we gotta take out. I'll show you. It's looking good. So we gotta come back and get this because, 3 to 5 leaves, and then this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 leaves, So this one is, I gotta loosen that up, Otherwise they go bad if you let them go, or sorry, they don't store as long, they don't go bad, but I had to come back and get that one with my shovel. I should have left that alone. So definitely we got to come back, probably with the kids. That'll be a fun project for the kids because they've been watching that grow. Our smiley face has something in its teeth, so we'll get that out. These, let's see if we can find any. Oh yeah, I can always find some. These allium, these leek blooms, there's a bee right there. There's a bee flying around right there. Bee flying around right there. There's 4 that I can just see right there. Bumblebees, 5. They love these leek plumes. I haven't seen them as much on the Walla Walla plumes or whatever these are. Plumes. But these are beautiful for me to look at, and the bees love them. So I'm gonna try to, keep that in mind for next year too. I planted those leeks in August, and they overwintered under a low tunnel. I talked about that quite a bit, but I did not expect these beautiful, and even look at that one, vibrant purple blooms. So these onions look good. I'll show you the basil we have dispersed throughout. I've been poking the heads off that's something I could do in 5 minutes, so I'll just come as I see them flowering. And then I'll monitor, there's some more basil down here. Otherwise it gets pretty woody, and if you poke the heads out, they keep blooming. I've been monitoring the pest pressure, so we have Japanese beetles pretty heavily, and I don't put out any traps. Like that one's already starting to get pretty woody, that basil. I don't put out any Japanese beetle traps. I just put out basil. And it looks like they've been on the basil quite a bit. Been noticing that. They've been on the green beans here. There's one right there. Those green beans, the pole beans. I have this bed See if we got any. See, there's a little honeybee in that flower, so that's good. And I'll show you in a minute why I'm excited about these. So we already been eating off this summer squash, this golden egg. Hopefully those got pollinated. I do need to come out here later and secure these to the stake like that. So I'll take mental note of that. There's nothing ready to harvest, so this patty pan is close. It's a green scallop squash. I think a patty pan and green scallop squash are the same thing. This I'm really excited about. These are sun sugar, and I ate one or two already, and they are really good. I'm excited to do a comparison between the sun gold, sun sugar, and golden nugget. And I'll do that on a video. But the sun gold, there's one probably ripe. Kind of want to wait till a couple of them are ripe. The sun gold's a little later, but look at this beautiful plant. I trimmed off the first, 4 or 5, 6 suckers, and I double stemmed it. And then now, so it's got 2 main stems, and then now it's just got a lot of little sucker stems that will produce. Look at all those tomatoes. And those are all sun gold. So those are all delicious tomatoes. They taste more like a grape than a tomato. But I'm excited to do a comparison video later. This is that lettuce bed. It's been hot. It's been so hot. So they're going to seed, which is great. I just haven't planted anything in succession. These ones I've cut a few times, and I could probably eat this. I can see here. Yeah, that tastes good. So that variety I got 3 cuttings off of, pretty big cuttings. And it's not bitter at all, surprisingly. This is what Teddy likes here. We'll get these ones are pretty much past their, obviously. Here you go, Teddy boy. Past their prime, but anyway, so this is something I'll need to take note of. That bed needs flipped. This bed, let's look at it. This needs its own videos, because I think these carrots are ready. Holy cow. Yeah, the carrots are ready. I gotta get those out. But also, I think I talked about this a little bit. Some of these carrots I've been even pulling out for the last few weeks because they've been going to seed. And I do not like these exotic, I'll say, varieties, because look at these. It's a giant plant that goes to seed right away, and they just haven't worked. So I did 7 varieties in here, and I'll talk about it in a different video, like I said, but this is one of the things I look for in the morning. Like, oh man, I gotta get out here and do this, whether I make a video or not. Sometimes it's a video idea, I guess, now that I'm doing YouTube. But I definitely got to get these carrots, which is good because we've been eating these carrots inside, and we've been eating smaller, then a little smaller, but this looks good. This is, I think, little fingers, so that's not a little finger. In my opinion, I have big fingers, and that's double my fingers. So definitely these are ready, which is good. We need them inside. We have a few bags left from last year, but we're just gonna toss those because in the freezer, because I mean, they're over a year old. So anyway, we'll get back out here and do that. This carrot bunk was a little bit 2 or 3 weeks behind that sowing, so we'll check on these and see if that makes sense. I think it's been super hot, so I think they're just laying down and they don't like the heat. They're still doing fine, like growing wise, but they're starting to like, I might need to take these. Let's grab a bunch. See, these are a little bit behind that and they look a little dry even. So we'll take those for lunch, but I might harvest those at the same time and we'll just do like baby carrots style. That I need to get out here and weed, but that's going to take longer than 5 minutes. This is the only bed that I didn't put the leaf compost on that I bought, and I've weeded it 3 or 4 times, and I know I've said this before, but the no dig method, even though I didn't dig that, it's just a perennial strawberry bunk, and then in the bare spots I put onions. I didn't add compost, and that compost acts as a weed barrier, like a living weed mulch, like a mulch, and keeps the weeds down. We had a good year for strawberries. These cucumbers need to be helped a little bit up on the first until they get their tendrils. Looks like they're starting to get them. Sometimes in the morning I'll kind of help them get started. These ones are the same. Let's check out this over here. We have potatoes in this bed, but I had a few volunteer squash from the compost I used, or from my compost. So I'm just letting them go. There's a channel I watched. I think they look like summer squash, actually. But I'm just gonna let them do their thing. Hopefully they'll won't shade out the potatoes too much, but then they'll kind of cover the ground so no weeds germinate. This is how my corn is doing. It's doing fine. It's a good 1.5 feet tall. It was interesting on this side of the bed here. I did composted manure from my neighbor, and if those potatoes on the end aren't coming up yet, except for the weeds, I didn't use weed mat on that, so it's kind of an experiment. There are a lot of weeds I got to pull, and the potatoes didn't come up. And then this half of the corn was with that composted manure. And then this half of the whole bed, so this half of the corn over, is with that leaf compost. And to my eye, this half looks way healthier. And these potatoes are actually coming up with little weeds. So I don't know if this is just these are the same variety of potatoes planted the same day. It's just interesting to see. Maybe that manure was too hot, or had something in it that the plants don't like to grow in. But you can see this native soil here all around where I have the weed mat. There's weeds. So this is actually really nice. And these potatoes, like that one is like kind of hitting the weed mat. This weed mat's pretty loose. It'll grow right past that, I'm pretty sure. Let's check in the greenhouse real quick. I did some cleaning. I'll show you this. I ripped these summer squash out of the greenhouse because they weren't pollinating. There's no bees that really go in the greenhouse. So this whole summer squash plant I had grown in the greenhouse with no fruit on it. And those summer squash plants I had out in the garden that we looked at, we've already been eating off of because they do so much better. So I probably won't grow summer squash in the greenhouse. The plant grew fine, but you'd have to manually pollinate it if that's what you want to do. And I just wasn't working on that. This tomato plant looks pretty sad. But we've harvested a lot of tomatoes off of it. These are good. They're gold. It's gold nugget. Not as sweet as the other gold ones we have, but there was a summer squash there and there that I ripped out that hopefully the onions will be a little happier now too. I pruned this tomato. This is a double stem tomato plant. I kind of got them weaving back and forth. It's just aroma. For my sister's greenhouse, she just tagged it Roma, so that's all I got. I just harvested a bunch of peppers off these 3 plants yesterday, a bunch of peppers. These peppers are coming. I just pruned these cantaloupe and watermelon. I probably cut the plant down to a third because it kind of got out of control. And then I've been trying to manually pollinate with this little paintbrush. So there's a male flower, stick it in there, and there's a female flower with the kind of like, you can see the fruit on it, and then kind of like pollinate. So hopefully that will work. I don't know how I had that paintbrush. I'm trying to keep that paintbrush for that plant. And then this watermelon had a watermelon on it, but it fell. I forgot to support it. And it is heavy. It held on there for a while, but I didn't get out here fast enough. I'll come back for these. I don't know, I'll just bring them, otherwise I'll forget. So the greenhouse looks good. I gotta get in there, and I do have to figure out what I'm gonna do next. I might pull those onions early in order to do carrots. I'm gonna do late season carrots in there. I could grow green beans in there. I could do pole beans on those stakes. We'll see. I did want to show you the compost. I don't really look at the compost, but like I got a bunch of winter squash growing. I have so many. This year I have hundreds of volunteer tomato plants. Like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7 in there. I probably won't let those go, but I have one or two tomato plants over here just volunteer from the compost with tomatoes on them, so that's funny. The apple tree looks okay. A bunch of apples are falling off because I think the bugs. I didn't spray it or anything. We have a lot of apple trees in Kayla's family, so we don't really depend on that for any fruit. That's actually the first time we've had fruit. The potatoes are looking good. Let's see if we can get a little, oh yeah, right there is a potato. Maybe we'll come out here and harvest some of these. Actually, you know what? Let's do this right now. So these are Yukon Gold. Yukon Gold. They might still be growing a little bit. We'll eat these for dinner tonight. So one potato plant there. And these potatoes are delicious. That might be from the other plant there. We saved these seeds from last year. Looks like that's about it. So yeah, 1 seed potato, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 potatoes. That's a big ROI, huh? Praise God. Look at that. Look at the ways God provides for us. Garlic, we'll take one of those seeds, or one of those cloves of garlic, we'll make a whole new garlic. Those carrots that I showed you were going to seed. We could have taken those carrot seeds and make a whole new bed of carrots. We'll save 1/10 of that harvest for the next year's harvest. Pretty crazy. Looking good, looking good. Same thing with these. These are the same variety. We'll probably let them go a little bit. And then This is a different variety. This is more of a russet. It's called Kennebec. Looking good. Probably give those potatoes, let them brown up a little bit. This whole fence needs to be pulled. I could probably put snap beans along this fence now if I pull those snap peas. So I'll keep that in mind. We do need to get some more beans going because we eat those quite a bit. And I took the trellis. I took the trellis space for like tomatoes and a lot more snap peas this year and than I had planned. So I got to get some beans going because we eat those year round. We just ate them last night from last year, frozen. So we try to eat a lot of our own food, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to grow food. I'm not trying to grow, just for fun. It is fun, but it's only fun for me if I can eat it. So I'm not trying to grow plants. I'm trying to grow fruit, depending on what it is. These brandywine are fun to grow, for example, but they don't give you that many tomatoes. So I'll probably I'm trying to figure out the varieties and stuff that give us the most fruit. So we have a lot of height with these sunflowers. Poking up, we do have beans scattered around the garden. Actually, let's look at these beans because these were the farthest along. There might be beans. This might be our first set of beans. No, not yet. Not yet. I don't even see any flowers yet. So they're working on it. We got a couple pepper beds. These are all volunteer tomatoes. We had our determinate tomatoes in this bed last year and they are reseeding themselves like crazy. You kind of see you got some jalapenos here and a tomato and basil. One gardener mentioned that he likes to grow things. I can't remember who. A lot of people probably do this. He likes to grow things together that taste good together. So, you got basil, peppers, tomatoes. Those are all would taste good together. Basil and tomato for sure. I tried seed tape. Yeah, seed tape here for these carrots, and this is the first time I ever tried that, and it did not. I don't know if I would write it off for me. I'd try it one more time because I was trying to grow them in the hot of the summer. It was 95 degrees. But that's a lot of growing space for me right there. And I'd rather direct seed and overseed carrots if I'm gonna do that at that time of year. So that's kind of in progress, but it's a big bare spot right now, but there are carrots coming up. Got more jalapenos. Oh, that one needs to be harvested for sure. The tomatoes are doing great. I do need to get out here and trellis them again. But this San Marzano, you can kind of see, I don't know, hopefully they're starting to get loaded. This is one plant. Probably have to trim some of the leaves off so those can ripen up. We kind of let our tomatoes ripen on the vine. For one, like here's one. There's a Roma that it's a San Marzano that, it fell off. We'll just let it ripen on the vine, but a lot of times you want to take them off before, depending on the time of year. Like this is a super sauce. I could take that off right now and let it ripen inside in the window, or I could leave it on and it could ripen on the vine, but it could get eaten by birds. We don't have a lot of birds because we don't have any trees. The birds do come and sit on these trellises, but they don't stick around for very long because they stay in the on the edges of the property and the trees. But super sauce, there's a couple more. I'll take that one maybe. San Marzano, these are really good, and these are perfect little San Marzanos. Picture perfect. And then we have a bunch of random ones. These are all super sauce. These get giant. It's like a giant Roma hybrid from Burpee. These sunflowers are starting to get some height on them. I moved my hanging basket up there. But yeah, for the most part, these tomatoes are growing nicely, and it's just starting to ripen up, a couple of them. The leeks, uh-oh, we got some vultures here. Here, this is what I do. I'll show you. Watch this. You guys want some snacks? There's 2 roosters, and I'm scared of them, so I just throw them that way as a decoy, and then I can escape. All right, well, yeah, thanks for hanging out with me. That was a little bit longer video, maybe a little bit slower paced. Oh, I don't think any edits even, but that gets me thinking of what I got to do. For one, I'm just I don't know what the word is. So at peace right now, just having done that. This stuff's always in the back of my mind, but getting out here and getting my eyes on it, seeing this beautiful, beautiful garden, how all these plants come together, gets my mind going for ways I can improve it and cultivate it. And a lot of times I'll pray or sing to myself and just thank God for the ways that He provides for us, and the simple little details. I haven't seen, I'm also looking for pests, like I said. I haven't seen the tomato hornworm yet, but it's inevitable, and that'll actually be fun. I'm excited for that because we have a black light. Maybe I'll show a picture. Last year we got a little black light flashlight, and they glow in the dark. So that'll be actually a fun video. I'm excited for them to come so I can kill them and feed them to the chickens. Anyway, thanks for hanging out, watching. We got to get out here and get some garlic. We got to get out here and trellis some summer squash. We got to get out here and think about harvesting potatoes in the next couple weeks. This bed needs to be flipped. Probably with some more beans, but we've already been eating off the onions in this, but I got beans coming up, so a couple successions of beans, which is nice because beans get a lot to handle sometimes in the heat of the harvest. But all right, yeah, I'll end it there. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Oh my gosh, the chicks. The baby chicks want to come inside. You can't go in there. You can't go in there, that's a glass window. Crazy. Come on, teddy boy.